What is up, guys? Wraec is here with a new video, and today I want to talk about the auction house, my opinion on the rising prices and what I think is the reason for it, and well, some things regarding the events tomorrow. Let's start with exactly that. Let's hop into the event news because I want to point out one or two things there. And what we have here are the event news for the tomorrow event start. Well, nothing too spectacular. There are some daily gifts. We got Fantasy Factory, Heroic Miracle is there with Profit Sum. Usually we would expect a gala there. It is not there. It is in fact not there. Regular stuff there, nothing fancy really. The only really fancy thing is this VIP XP event that gives you one Revelry gift box for 500 VIP XP obtained. So if you buy one $100 pack, you basically get all of those boxes there. Up to 10 gift boxes can be earned, so 10 times 500 is 5,000. And this is actually kind of interesting because it's the first time DH made an RNG event with DT mats, and that has stirred a bit of a controversy, or at least a discussion, I would say, because people usually went for, well, for the way to get all of those DT materials. You didn't want to fall behind. A lot of people, including me, did every single event, collected every single bit of DT mat that was in there, and tried to get to Nirvana and to second Nirvana and everything as fast as possible. Now we see for the first time such an event where you get a little bit of RNG. Apparently you will get a random reward from those, so that can mean you get 10 boxes. Well, maybe you only get the first one, maybe you don't get any DT mats at all, or maybe you get the 200k and the 25k, which are very decent rewards. We don't know yet if those are one-time earns, so that is still, I mean, there are 6 slots in there for DT mats. Arguably the first ones wouldn't be too insane, but still, that's half a blue crystal, so still kind of something. There are some very insane rewards in there. We have the 40 cores, we have 1.2 million stellar, so quite a lot of stuff. But it's the first time that we see DT mats behind an RNG gate, and some people hated on that quite a lot. And I think people kind of forgot that it was the same with all the other stuff before. Like, it was the same with Celestial Island materials. I remember Celestial Island materials being in an event. The first time we saw master toolboxes that you definitely need in game was actually at the top of an event where you got some gift boxes. And while I don't have any of those gift boxes anymore, that was still the same basically as the DT mats today. You were able to get those through events, you could have the same amount as everybody else, and at one point DH put them closer to the regular rewards to then put them in line with everything else, and now it's just the standard rewards. And I think DT is going to be the same. So in my opinion, not that spectacular, a bit too much discussion around it, I guess. It's just the way things go. I will still be super annoyed if I don't get those big stacks of DT mats tomorrow. Yeah, but that's a risk. That's, I guess, the risk that DH was willing to take with it. In a way, we already don't have the same amount of DT mats. For me, for example, I didn't put too much effort into Horde, which is, well, it's not correct. I put effort towards Horde. It was just like that I mostly focused around Star Expedition and making content, so I'm still on Horde 5, and I dropped quite a significant bit to 8 now. And 92%. Jesus is on Horde 6 for like an eternity. He's probably closer to the next Horde level, to Horde 7 than I am to Horde 6 or something. I don't know. He's there for an eternity. It's a bit ridiculous. But of course, that also means he got some DT mats that I don't have. There's 45k of those and 6,480 of those in there, which is not a whole lot, but he has more than I do. So in that sense, that is already the case. And I would say let's take it with the relaxed mind. It's not really too much of a spectacular thing. Another thing though that was even more discussed, and not just in the whale realm, which is mostly the thing with the people going for maxed out events to get all of the DT mats, but through all the player bases really, was the auction house. And the auction house really was discussed because prices are rising in there, which is true. Prices are definitely rising in there. If we check out the market now, sort by Awakened tier, we'll see there are some interesting copies in there, and the prices are kind of high. 59k for an S tier SFX, we saw those at 38k at one time, some time ago. All the A plus are pretty expensive. We see 36, 35, 36k. I mean, even an A+ SFX above retiring value is pretty expensive. And even if we check out only for A+, let's do that. Then we can scroll through here and we'll see like the cheapest buyout is this one right here. Where was it? 26K, I saw that. We should probably just sort it like that. Oh, it was 29K. 29K cheapest buyout, so above retiring value. And we had a time where you could get an A+ for like 12K, 13K. And that's just not possible anymore. And a lot of people say, oh, the auction house is so expensive, we can't really afford that. But what really drives that? What really drives those auction house prices up? And well, the easy answer is, of course, we lack Awakening Session. Awakening Session was long due. It's now gone for 3 months. Usually it's only a 2-month break in between, and it shows. It shows in the auction house, it shows with every single price that we see in here. We saw some new highest peaks in recent times, some sales around 400K, all those IHPs that you see here, 400K, pretty new hero. Jesus, that was a long time ago, but this MFG, for example, 355K, by the way, super cool copy. Would love to have that. It's a really nice one. But we saw all of those recently, and now the prices do really explode. And really, in my opinion, 2 things drive that. One thing is that we didn't see the Gala for quite some time, or the Awakening Session. Gala and Awakening Session, by the way, 2 different things. In general, Starry Gem farmers seem to be more focused around Awakening Session than they are around Gala, given that you get a stone, summoning stone during session, and that gives you the opportunity to summon a great copy. So they tend to focus on that, which, by the way, interesting if you think about it. If that is such a successful strategy, maybe something to implement for your playstyle as well. Might want to check that out. But beyond that, there is also another factor, and this other factor is that the Starry Gem prices have just decreased. On the second market, let's call it that, the Starry Gem prices fell. So now more people can buy bigger amounts of Starry Gems. More people buying bigger amounts of Starry Gems doesn't necessarily increase the prices, but it increases their capability to buy certain heroes. And if we take that filter away and search for something like a Vulcan, we can check out, or we should probably check out the competitive ranges. Like, let's check out the entire A range. We can already find a Vulcan for 14K. I know they were cheaper a while ago, but here you can see it's around that time. And the time they were cheaper, it were really when they were readily available in the auction house, which was around the end of the year, around November, December, where people got their cores, where people got the Black Friday cores, and then the Awakening Session cores, and the market was just flooded. You could get one of those for like 6K or something crazy like that. And that was really the lowest point. And now the market is recovering a bit for that, and this is, well, amplified to higher prices now with this lack of Awakening Session. And that is really the case. Though I would say it is not even that crazy. If we think about prices like that, that wouldn't have been even a crazy price back then. Think about 4 months, 5 months back, and think about the price of an A- Vulcan, and you will remember something around 30K. Because those guys used to be very, very expensive. They are still the strongest PvE clear, I reckon. Like the strongest heroes that you can put into Void Campaign to clear it, in my opinion, still is Vulcan. Strong competition with IHP as far as I heard, but still IHP faces the problem of Wraec triggering, getting triggered by her, because she CCs Wraec, and then, well, you are in a world of pain, I guess. Vulcan's CC is much rarer, so not that much of a problem, and you get such a powerhouse here for 15K. Which doesn't mean you should buy it, honestly. You shouldn't. You should wait for Awakening Session and probably save up your Starry Gems for that. Because there are only very rare deals where it's really worth it to go for such a copy. Maybe something like this is interesting. Personally, I'm thinking about that. That's why there is a star. I have to see in 14 minutes if I really am gonna buy this, but it is a good price. But beyond that, like this one, surely there will be a ton of A- Vulcans being summoned during Awakening Session. So those prices are basically guaranteed to decrease if the Age releases the Awakening Session somewhere within the next month. So that is the thing. still the prices aren't even too bad. Because, well, still a powerhouse, meta hero, and if you think back, well, they were much more expensive. So I think there is, well, too much discussion around prices that are higher than 2 months ago or 3 months ago. But really, if you think 4, 5, 6 months back, those were the same prices, really. So really, we're not much in a wrong or bad situation here. It's just that the market is recovering from this insane influx of B+ copies, of B+ stones, of B stones, of all those things that happened around November, December is now getting to a regular plane again. And we'll have to see where this settles. It didn't really help that the Age delayed the awakening session for that, because having this at a regular pace would have given us more clarity on that. With this now bigger gap between, it kind of indicates that those prices might be too high and we might settle on a lower price, but nobody really knows about that. Nobody can know about that. So we're now a bit in a vacuum there, and we're waiting for what is about to happen. Well, till then, I can only ask you, well, or recommend you to wait for awakening session. Personally, I'm pretty sure that the prices are going to fall massively during that time, so that is my tip for you guys. And I will sit here now, wait for those 12 minutes, and maybe buy that Vulcan copy. We'll see if I can get it. We'll keep you updated on that on Discord, I guess. So if you want to check that out, join my Discord. Link is in the description. 2,000 people in there, so quite happy about that. It's quite insane to me still. And other than that, I would say, wish you a great day. See us in the next one.